That vibe is super cool. Do you do anything to like create vibes where you go? Like when you're on stage, is that something you think about?
Oh yes. We most definitely do that. Like after every show that we do, most of the time we have a cipher where everybody's just standing around and we create our own vibes. So we don't need no beat, we don't need nothing. We just need us. And when we have us, we make it happen pretty much.
Feel like I'm on my prime. Feel like this is my prime time. Catch me in the limelight. Tell my mama be fine. I already made it. Don't listen to the haters. Kobe Bryant on the Lakers. Michael Jordan on the Bulls. I ain't got no bulls. This is my life. I'ma live it right. Don't try to tell me I should be
putting some new music together and it's gonna be super fire. He's dropping an album soon, and I'm really spending a lot of my time working on that. He runs this company called Daptro Creations, and if you're trying to get media recorded on the low for like your personal brand, and you heard it from Mark, who was here earlier today talking about video games, the volume of content you produce is your only way to show up on the internet. The volume of content, not the quality of content. That can help you out if you win the lottery and go viral, great. That's not up to you. The volume of content, how many videos, how many blog posts, how many whatever you do, really is the only thing that's going to change your presence online. And so to have a company like Kevin who will record videos for $50, $75, whatever it is, that can really be a game changer. It's been a game changer for me. Like if you go onto my YouTube, whether it's going to the Raw show, I'm hosting Raw next week, actually on Wednesday, 1,000 plus person show at the Aztec Theater. It's super dope. And then having Kevin, but it's not my event, right? So it's not like they're coming to see Kenyo read poetry and stuff like that. So I don't actually get that much from the transaction other than whatever they pay me. But when I get Kevin to come out, pay him a little bit of money, he records it, I'm able to put that up on YouTube, snatch clips from that, put it on Instagram. It works, my guys. It works. People see it. Yeah, you know what it is. Speaking of hustle, I need one more person to get a dental appointment today. Who's going to get a dental appointment today? Raise your hand. Today. Who's ready today? Not tomorrow. Who's ready today for the dental appointment? Put your hands in the air. It's an altar call type situation. So I'm sweating. Meaningful. All right, cool. Nobody. Buki, actually, you have dental insurance, don't you? That's my brother, guys. Clap for my brother from the audience. It's okay. I coerce people. People think the mic is a good way to coerce people, but one-on-one, you know. Okay, anyway, speaking of hustle, let's do this again. This is the 2019 Creator Game sponsored by Shiba Dental. Everything you're watching and enjoying right now is only because of Shiba Dental, because if not for the energy that this place provides me, I would be at home sleeping right now, and I wouldn't get to hang out with you guys, which is super dope, and we wouldn't get to hang out with each other. Well, we probably would to somewhere else, but maybe not. Who knows? And you wouldn't get to meet Jay Alejandro, who's super cool. And Jay Alejandro, here at this 2019 Creator Game sponsored by Shiba Dental, is a personal trainer, as well as being a poet. And I invited you here today more to talk about the personal training side of things, because that's a really interesting thing. And there's a lot of niches in health that people don't end up taking as seriously, but they do end up costing a lot of money. Dentistry is definitely one of those things. But just in general, health is one of those things. Usually, we'll just wait for like 15, 16 and be like, oh, I'm gonna die faster like this because like my health isn't together. How do you see that?
Hello, everybody. First and foremost, glad to be here. I don't know. I mean, I feel like as a society, we all kind of fall into all the little niches that kind of pop up and go around. And as far as fitness goes, I don't know. I've been in the industry about 12 years, and what I've seen is that the different boosts in business usually come with the different trends that are up and coming in nutrition or even fitness. You know, you have your box gyms, your what do they call it? Your CrossFit gyms. You know, all your different fad diets, your keto diet, a lot of different things. What I see is people get motivated by these new things, by these new ideas. A lot of these new ideas are old ideas, however, just kind of repackaged and with a ribbon. But a lot of these diets are recycled and everything. But at the end of the day, it's a matter of seeking out that want to be healthy and to live a long-lasting life, a productive life while you're being healthy. So whatever lane or niche you fall into to get there, I mean, it doesn't make a difference as long as you're consistent with it. You follow that path, and you essentially will get to those goals and those results that you're seeking. It's just a matter of consistency. So no matter what trend or niche or diet, just follow it 100% nice and consistently, and you'll get to you get to your goal at the end of the day. So. I love your shirt. Green. I like it.
You missed the story about how this turned into like a bad thing. You'll have to listen to the podcast. I can't tell it to you right now, but personal trainer. So one thing I want to do next year, I actually want to do a personal trainer in next year's Creator Games 2020 for those people most likely coming here. Dopest thing to do tonight. Most likely not. But Creator Games 2020, I want to do a personal trainer competition. That's an idea that I came up with. Like, let's say, this is probably how we're going to do. Oh, who's that? Do I know you? Okay, cool. You look familiar. You actually, I don't know if my fiance is going to say this. You look like an ex-girlfriend. I was like, you decided to pop up? After all these years? To say what? Uh-oh. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, personal training competition. I definitely want to do that because I think that'd be cool. What we probably do is like get two people, right? You weigh them, and then the personal trainer has 5 minutes to work them out, and then we weigh them again, and whichever person that they got to lose more weight. You know, because there's tricks in it, because you can't just like give them really hard stuff to do because they'll quit and walk out. And some people will lose like that, right? But if you're actually a good personal trainer and using your skill, you know. Anyway, that's draft one of what I want to do next year.
We'll edit and revise that. Figure it out.
Well, how do you feel like that thing is? Like, why when you're trying to get someone? Because I don't notice you selling your personal training a lot. You don't do a lot of that stuff. So like, how do you go about trying to help someone realize the benefit of like taking care of their physical bodies?
Well, there's a lot of different ways. One way is by leading through example. For instance, in my small circle, I don't know, I hate talking about myself, it's weird. But leading by example, I'm typically the healthy one in the group, the one drinking a lot less or eating a lot less, things like that. I'm not a professional bodybuilder.
Professional, I saw
you. Haven't gotten paid yet, so I'm not professional. But yes, I do that in addition. So that's one aspect of it. Repeat the question again.
How do you convince people the importance of taking care of their...
There we
go. Short attention span. Like, I heard the motorcycle when I was gone. It's like, oh, it was loud. Another avenue is through social media, of course. I post a lot of videos, not necessarily of myself, but of my clients, other trainers even, just as a way to, like you said, advertise, but not necessarily advertising. I'm not one to kind of jump out at you and say, hey, you want a trainer? Hey, are you working out right? I'm not that guy. So I like to be real passive. So I do have a lot of workout videos and things of that nature from clients, previous and present. And I mean, honestly, that generates a lot of interest. A lot of prospects kind of, like you said, the more content that comes out, the more interest that kind of pops up.
You know, it's hard for them to consume 30 to 40 minutes of certain things. I don't know who I'm talking about. People in general, I sometimes feel that we get that. I get that way too. And I actually have an answer for maybe why it's happening. But first I want to hear, why do you think it's happening?
Okay, first of all, I don't know if I agree with that.
Good, that's better. Really
I feel like everybody has a story, and sometimes we might not know how to put it together.
Yeah.
But if you tell your story, it can be a form of poetry, so all you have to do is start. most of the time, and then you can create poetry.
Very cool. Very cool. What would you like to see more in San Antonio to make it even more your home, your place, your number one awesome place?
I think I would like to see more open mics, which reminds me, I have an open mic. Me and another poet named Sacred Fantasy, we host an open mic on every second and fourth Wednesday at Uptown 78. So the purpose for that is like to bring all artists together and all of us to try to get paid. So that's the purpose of it. And I just like to see more artists coming together and working together. Like a lot of artists, I feel like, because a lot of people that I met, and we go to different places and do open mic, and I watch people perform. So if I like them or whatever, then I reach out to them, and sometimes they be thinking like, I'm not real. So I think they don't have a lot of real people here in San Antonio. Like they say they're gonna do something and they don't really do it. So I just hope that people could just be about your word. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I feel like.
I definitely feel like that's what it is, and I think that kind of speaks to what I'm saying. I do feel like there's kind of a thing where people, because you have to read a whole book to get the end of the story, and I think to get a lot of the impact of the story. And I think sometimes everyone has like Game of Thrones syndrome, where they're like, and I say that because everyone watched Game of Thrones and everybody almost was like disappointed. They're like, this is lame. And I feel like sometimes people are so afraid that, that's going to happen, that the person, they don't want to invest in this person. Is he going to be a good hometown hero? If I put all my love into Mr. Composition, is he going to turn around in 2 months and decide that, he has something else more important to follow in the city? And I feel like people sometimes can live like that. And, but anyway, let's speak some life into the situation. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
Speak some life into the situation. I think when we do stuff like this repetitively, and I really think it's super important for people to realize you need to pick. It's something that I do. I know 2 or 3 people who a bulk of my time is spent with them in collaboration. It has to be done. And then I know 7 to 12 people who during the week I think about what their goals are, and I think about how I'm contributing to their goals. And then I think about the 50 people, the core group, the 50 people that I'm expecting to see and communicate with on a regular basis, in one way, shape, or form. When they put out something, it informs my work. When I put out work, I'm in essence communicating to them. And then if I'm communicating to anyone else in the world, that's fine. That's my tribe, though, the 50. And I think when you do that, you can have faith that these artists in that community are going to be around a little bit longer. Do you have anything like that you use to say, hey, let me make sure I'm going to show up for these people?
Yes, we have a number of people in our circle, and what it is me and Sacred Fantasy, we go out to different places, like I'm saying, and then we might meet different artists, and then they become a part of our circle. So whenever they have different performances, we go to support, and then they come to support us. So if anything, we just learn how to support each other as artists, because it's hard. It's hard doing that. It's hard to be an artist, actually, so it's like when you know that you have support or somebody watching you in the audience, it's just like, it's all love,
That's something I'm super interested in. I love like vibes, and that's one thing that's made art difficult in certain periods of my life. I'm like, well, I had a band when I was like younger, and I loved playing with that band in the Antelope Valley, which is next to Los Angeles, because the shows, they felt like parties, and that vibe is super cool. Do you do anything to like create vibes where you go, like when you're on stage? Is that something you think about?
Oh yes. We most definitely do that. Like after every show that we do, most of the time we have a cipher where everybody's just standing around and we create our own vibes. So we don't need no beat, we don't need nothing. We just need us. And when we have us, we make it happen pretty much.
I love that. I looked at Mr. Composition because we've been talking about that, just getting together and doing like music sessions where they're just like super casual and people can come share their new music and do stuff like that. So I want to come out to the next time you guys do one of those for sure, because that's the kind of thing that I love to do. That's what we always used to do in the Antelope Valley. It would be like 7 of us musicians, be a couple drummers in the room, a few guitars, some basses, like you just jam and then someone else would jump in. There weren't a lot of vocalists around in those days. I feel like it was mostly a music thing. I think it's because musicians secretly have a low opinion of most vocalists. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I definitely want to check that out. When's the next time you guys are doing one of those?
It's going to be on July 24th, I believe. Yes, July 24th at 8 p.m. It's at Uptown 78, and it's called Metaphorical Vibes. So we definitely bring in the vibes. And DJ Direct is our DJ, and he's amazing. He also became a part of our cypher the last time we had it, and he amazed us. He blew us away. He actually won the cypher. So I mean, just come through. It's the bomb.
Yeah. All right, guys. This has been a bunch of fun. Thank you so much, Symbolic Soul. It's been a pleasure to have you. Poetry and interviews. Woo! This is 2019 Creator Games. It's your boy Kenyo, sponsored by Shiba Dental. You said that already when you did your poetry. They don't need your Instagram again. Thank you. I'll see you guys next year. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead. Drop your.
So if you want to follow me, you can follow me on Instagram at symbolic_soul77. I'm also on Facebook. I think you can just look me up as Aisha Chantel Ward. And I do have a page on Facebook too that says symbolic_soul77. I speak life and truth through my poetry. So I also inspire people and encourage people on my Facebook page. So just check me out, look me up. I also have a youth ministry. I'm going to use this time to talk about my youth ministry too. It's called Uplifting Soul Youth Ministry. It's starting with kids. It's kids from between the ages of 8 to 12 years old. So it's just meant to uplift them and everything too. And my main goal is to make it where I can have uplifting souls for adults and everybody. So it's all love, So just look me up.
That's the coolest. Alright, y'all, I'm just gonna relax. Oh wait, I can't relax. Were you guys coming to check out what was happening here? Were you guys coming here? No, I know you were coming here. Don't worry, I won't let you down. I will provide you with a small amount of entertainment. Now, would you prefer a poem or an off the top of the head freestyle?
If you want a poem, I can do one right now.
You want a freestyle? Alright. Oh yeah, oh, actually you're still here on stage. Alright, check it out. I need someone to make a beat. Actually, they're not going to be able to hear your beat, so I'm just going to go for it. Can't let them down. My name is Kenyo. Yo, what you know? Sitting here, 10 p.m. San Antonio show. Ho ho! Getting the looks from the audience. They're like, hey, he's supporting us. And I'm like, yes, I am. Because to me, you're the man. Boom! Mic drop! That was for you guys. Welcome to our weird little event. Boom, 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 boom. It's over. Okay, let's do it.
Alright, here we go. This is just for y'all. I feel like y'all came up here just to hear this, okay? So this one is called A Slave to Sin. Alright.
Which one of them is the slave to sin? We can find that out later by doing a simple internet browser history check. We'll do that later. That's what we're doing next. So just get ready to have your phones out after the poem.
All right. Hopefully he won't stop me again. All right. So, I'm a slave to sin. I opened up my heart and sin just came right on in. I played with temptation and thought I could win. Deadly sins beginning. I couldn't help but to keep engaging in them. Lustful thoughts got me caught up in compromising situations. I didn't really mean to commit fornication, but let's just say I just so happened to be in the right location. Curiosity and anticipation just got the best of me, overpowered by my flesh. Then the rest It's history. Here I am being challenged again. It's a mystery how easily sin just seems to find me. I tried any and everything to put out that fire. They say an idle mind is the devil's playground, so I even tried to convince myself that the devil was a liar. But my heart and mind conspired, and the next thing I know, I'm seconds away from fulfilling my desires. After one hit, you left me dizzy and confused. Although I know when I step to you, I'm bound to lose. Sin, I just don't know why I keep finding myself playing with you. Sin, you got me again. It's really sad how I'm so competitive, but when it comes to you, I always give in. You make it impossible for me to win, but I just can't quit. I have to admit, I get chills whenever I accept your challenge. Even though I know there's no real benefit in what I get, I guess I'm satisfied with that for the moment fix, because without it, I would have to admit what I'm really truly missing. Like an adolescent, I'm desperate for direction. I know I can deny the transgression, but sometimes obsessions always get the best of me. So I think to myself, I need to come up with a quick strategy to escape this tragedy. All of a sudden, amazingly, I was introduced to a king that granted me royalty. Then what was all too familiar to me became a distant memory. And I just had to stand up and share my testimony. I know there's a lot of folks out there just like me. You've been battling with sin ever since Genesis began. Listen, aren't you tired of losing? Well, I have a solution. Take the time to let God search your heart. Then eventually all your lustful thoughts and bad habits will be lost. God brought you at a high price. Why not pay him back by living a sin-free life? That was just for y'all. The couple.
Just want to fly.